Hey, everybody, welcome to After the Checkered Flag, supercrosslive.com. He is the 5-time Supercross champion, Ricky Carmichael. I'm Todd Harris. What a night in Motown, Ricky. Where do we start? Let's go with the 250s first because it was relatively clean.
Yeah, it was. Jet Lawrence rode a fantastic race. He didn't look great in time qualifying practice, the first one, but then Honda made some adjustments, whatever. They got him dialed in. He was the fastest qualifier. He's been doing that since the inception of the season of the 250 East. So great job by Jet Lawrence. And really, I think he just maintained it, did what he had to do. It was a really sketchy track. He didn't think it was that sketchy. I think everyone else did, and the results really showed that it was. It got close with Pierce Brown, probably about halfway. Pierce Brown kind of closed in when Jet got jammed up with some lappers, and Cameron McAdoo, he did great by getting into second and salvaged as many points as possible. He's still there. I think Cameron McAdoo was better than what his box score showed. He was riding really fast. He had great whoop speed, but he spotted Jet Lawrence just too much space at the beginning.
And he said that afterwards, that he just cannot let him get away. So turning the corner for the 250 East, they look to Indianapolis next. If you're Cameron McAdoo, what are you working on to make sure that Jet Lawrence doesn't get those kind of leads?
Well, he said it in his post race that he's got to go out there and get good starts. He's got to put himself in position. So absolutely, work on your starts. Make sure that you are right there with Jet Lawrence at the beginning of the race. That's what you got to do. As far as riding, I just think keep doing your stuff. Keep going through your program. It's so hard to make big gains during the week. You don't have a lot of time to do it, so not much you can change there. I think it's just more race strategy stuff, just focusing on the beginning of that race so you're right there when Jet gets a good start.
All right, we turn our attention now to the 450s, the destruction in Detroit. There was a period between about 2 minutes where it was just chaos broke loose.
Yeah, and it started with Cooper Webb. He comes out of that corner, and the rhythm section that we talked about on the Yamaha track map. I mean, a lot going on. I think Cooper Webb, he got confused of where he was on the track. I know that's crazy to say. I've done that at my house before, come out of a corner where I'd normally double, triple. Well, everyone was double, tripling here tonight, as we all saw on the broadcast, and he just tripled. And I think like midair, he knew, okay, I messed up. He comes up short. There was nothing that Chase Sexton could do. Chase Sexton was midair, lands on Cooper Webb, takes them both out. That was an awful crash. Then while we're covering that, seeing what's happened, sussing out the situation, then Anderson's laying on the ground. And then the next thing you know, Dylan Ferrandis is pulling off. So it's a bummer. I hope that all of those guys are okay. And it's going to be hard to beat Eli Tomac when you're 100%. I can't see the guys that we just named being 100% next weekend in Indy. They looked like they were in a lot of pain, all of those guys.
And meanwhile, Eli Tomac maybe rode the most clean race. I mean, he just got out in front and made the pass, stayed clean. He talked about it afterwards, saying this is one of the most tricky surfaces he's ever raced on.
Yeah, because it was hard in areas, slippery, it was sticky, and when it's like that and there's all those different elements of the racetrack, it's hard to really get the bike tuned in properly, and there's some give and some take going, and I felt like the transitions of the jumps, just watching them, they weren't perfectly smooth, so that's easy to get messed up on, and your timing is of the essence, especially on a track like this one. There's really not a lot of give in the track, and we saw that tonight, and it was biting guys. I hope that they get better, feeling better very, very soon, so we can see this thing go down to the end. But man, I mean, Eli Tomac, he's going to have a two-race lead before we know it.
You know better than most that Supercross is so precarious. One moment you feel like you're just crushing everything, and then everything turns around. I'm sure Jason Anderson felt like, I'm in the hunt, I'm battling. He was in first place at one point, and then it all goes away, and he's going to lose massive points.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's, 42 points out of the lead now. But you got to give it up to Eli Tomac. He marched through the field. He caught and he passed all of the guys, made some great competitive passes, and he put the screws to the guys. And if you're Jason Anderson, we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast, like that's got to work on your mind, because Jason Anderson was getting kind of in a must situation. I think he would have taken it down to the end right there, but unfortunately he fell in the corner right after the finish line, just washed the front end. Those 90 degrees are really, really slippery tonight. So let's hope he can remount, but now all these guys are in a must situation for the championship, especially Jason Anderson.
And Lucas Oil Stadium on the horizon, always exciting place to race. Indianapolis has always been good to you, my friend.
Yes, it has. I love Indy. It's going to be a lot of fun. 250s are going to be great, and let's just hope the same for the 450s.
No question about it. So that brings down the curtain here in Detroit from Ford Field. What a showing. Congratulations to Jet Lawrence getting the win in the 250s. In the 450s, it's Eli Tomac, his third straight main event in a row. What a night here in Detroit. We now look to Indianapolis. We will see you there.